Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome to The Week with me, Comrade Fatso, where we tear apart the week's news like a Zimbabwean trying to empty their bank account before bond notes arrive. This week, the Warriors beat Malawi, sex tapes are back in fashion, and cooking oil has become the new gold. But first, hashtag ThisFlag, which has become a movement since Pastor Evan Mawarire posted a viral video on 20th April calling out government corruption and demanding answers. Here at The Week, we support hashtag ThisFlag, and we're going to demonstrate to you why by showing what the colors actually mean in this flag. The green stands in memory of the US dollars soon to become extinct when they introduce bond notes in August. The red stands for, are you red? Because 2018 guy. The yellow stands for the Indians, coloreds, and even the Chinese in Zimbabwe, because tiritose my comrades. The black stands for our patriotic parastatal ZESA and their never-ending power cuts. The white, well that's obvious, guy, stands for me. The red star stands for Red Seal Roller Meal, a real meal for any revolutionary. And finally, the bad, which means we are against bad things. That is why we support hashtag ThisFlag. Next up, the sex tape that everyone's talking about. Well, they're all talking about it because it's the only sex tape out there. Also, I was thinking, should we still call them sex tapes? Because we don't technically use cassette tapes anymore. Shouldn't we call them like sex flash discs or sex drives? Oh, maybe not. Anyway, recently expelled ZANU-PF member AC Lumumba recently had a sex tape leaked about him after leaving the party. The ruling party, not a house party. I'm not sure why he did a sex tape in the first place. I mean, sex tapes are so 2013. Like, is he an aspiring politician or an aspiring urban groover? Maybe he's trying to woo Stana, Pokelo and Tintin into this new youth political party of his. At the same time, the shame with the sex tape is that the one who's going to suffer the most is not Lumumba, but actually the young girl who is featured in it and exposed against her will, because we still live in such a sexist society. Comrades, young women should be allowed to enjoy having sex without being slut-shamed. It's that simple. This incident also shows that ZANU-PF has modernized, since in the olden days, comrades who fell out with the party would have a mysterious car crash, whereas now the party is being hip and youthful by releasing H-Metro-style sex tape leaks and website crashes against its opponents. But the real story isn't about the sex tape. It's about the missing $15 billion. Dear government, if you had used the same energy you used looking for the sex tape in looking for the $15 billion, we would have found it by now. I know that $15 billion is not as sexy as a sexy tape, but it could help us do some quite sexy things, like fixing roads, providing ZESA, creating jobs. Maybe I'm just dreaming. Finally, this week, the Warriors beat Malawi. In these tough times of bond notes, cash queues, and Sir Wicknell, we'd like to thank the Warriors for putting a smile on the nation's face, albeit just for the Sunday. Zimbabwean supporters once again showed their sense of humor by singing Baya wa baya yawe nyama yechiuta yoerere, which basically for non-Shona speakers means stab it, let's eat quail meat. I know, right? Also, considering that more Malawians scored for Zimbabwe than for Malawi, hopefully this will be the end of any xenophobic utterances against Mabrantaya. I also hear that the government was very confused as they weren't sure if there was a huge hashtag ThisFlag demonstration happening at the National Sports Stadium or if they were just innocent supporters watching football. If you want to get involved to make Zimbabwe a better place, then go along to the hashtag 16 Days Occupation at Africa Unity Square from 5 to 6 p.m. every day. The comrades are demanding an end to leadership failure, so go along wearing your hashtag ThisFlag. It's like a revolutionary picnic. At the same time, if you voted for your mayor and don't want him or her booted out willy-nilly by the Minister of Local Government, then go along to the hearings being held by the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Local Government. They're holding hearings at the moment on a new local government bill that will give the minister more powers to boot out elected mayors. So comrades, go and make your voices heard. These hearings are happening across the country from Karoi to Mutare. Thanks for joining us on The Week. Follow Magamba TV on social media and join our poll about #ThisFlag. I have been Comrade Fatso, you have been the people, this has been The Week. Thank you and